everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is our monthly show where three guys love for film take you through the history of cinema. And joining me as always are members of the crew. Hopefully there won't be a mutiny today. It is Luke and Adam.
Hello.
Season's greetings, gentlemen.
Yes, as we are recording this the day after Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So 'tis the season. We do this, as this comes out
Recovery
for
day after Boxing Day.
Huh?
Recovery day after Boxing Day.
Yeah. Yes, our bodies are recovering from I'll speak for myself, an immense amount of food that I've eaten where you could roll me around at this point. But we'll get back to it. And this episode coming out after the new year. But let's get to what we usually do here on this show, which we're going to give you a little bit of film history. We're going to be highlighting the year 1935 and talking about Mutiny on the Bounty, which we'll certainly be talking about a lot this show, because when we get to that Oscar section,
Oh yeah,
it's a little obscene.
Yes.
yes.
Not as many wins as it happened one night, but there's a lot of nominations.
But they had the most important one, you can argue.
Yes, at the end of the day, what is the best movie? But we'll get to that. But let's get started with some of our film history here. RKO and Ruben Mauleland's Becky Sharp was the first feature-length Technicolor film to be shot entirely in 3-strip color, a milestone film dramatizing William Makepeace Thackeray's novel Vanity Fair, with Miriam Hopkins in the title role. That is a name, and this is pretty cool. We're getting some full Technicolor now in 1935, only a few years before, The Wizard of Oz blew everybody's minds.
Yeah, and movies in Technicolor, oh my fucking god, they look spectacular.
It's just like, where'd all the color go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Nolan took it away.
Yeah, playing that one guy. Yes.
He's a dementor. He just sucks at all the good, keeping on the Harry Potter theme pre-show.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Harry Potter before we started recording. Somebody needs to wizard up some of that beautiful color that we used to have in movies. Things are a little drab here in, now 2026.
Woo.
As we're getting
Got to
there.
go to Bollywood, not Hollywood, for color.
Yeah,
that's true. That is
yeah. At least they have vibrant movies. Christopher Nolan's like, we're gonna make things grounded and gritty, and I'm gonna spend a ridiculous amount of money on giant, basically puppets to bring giant monsters to life in the Odyssey, and you're all gonna love it. And I'll speak for myself, I will love it. I'm ready.
Probably.
My body is ready. The first official Mickey Mouse film in color was released, Disney's 9-minute The Band Concert. I think I've actually watched this one.
Is it racist?
Trying to remember
just
one of
a
them.
friendly question.
Just asking
Many of them are.
Just asking questions, okay?
I haven't seen it, but I can picture it is what I'm thinking. So,
Many of them had too many little characters with a little too much purple shading, if you will, and enlarged facial features.
Yeah. That's what I was picturing. Yeah,
throwing that out there. British director Alfred Hitchcock became an internationally famous figure for his thrillers, including The 39 Steps, and later The Lady Vanishes a few years after that, and Special Point. So over on the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel, where I'm doing my Hitchcock series for Welcome to the Wasteland, Adam here is actually going to be on my episode for
39 Steps.
39 Steps. I'm trying not to get that mixed up with who has Lady Vanishes. Okay, yeah. So yes, Adam will be on for the 39 Steps. So if you're interested in that conversation, tune back in a couple weeks over on my YouTube channel. Shameless plugs all around. But
Nice.
yeah, so I'm finally reaching the
Can't
point
wait.
where Hitchcock like blew up, and it's
Yeah.
just like, wow, these are like Hitchcock classics
Mhm.
instead of,
Mm.
some impressive early thrillers and showing that he should never make a romantic comedy ever again.
Or some 4-minute shorts about let's go bathing. Like, that was fun.
What's funny is I'm gonna have a bunch of
Leaving
World War
alone.
II shorts, and one of them's just a lady, a famous actress, turning to the camera and being like, you should buy war bonds."
Ah, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like 2 minutes. That's it. Attractive actress smiling at the camera and making you feel bad that you should buy war bonds. Too bad they didn't have Sarah McLachlan yet to throw that in the background,
Yes.
to guilt you into
yeah.
giving money.
I get you.
Oh man, in the eyes of the angels.
Hmm.
20th Century Pictures, founded in 1933 by Daryl F. Zanuck and Joseph Schenck, and the Fox Film Corporation, founded by William Fox in 1915, merged to form, you guessed it, 20th Century Fox.
Do, 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 do. Hmm.
Uh,
Keep going.
See, you're all welcome. You got the whole thing.
Yes.
So, and now it's just, 20th Century Studios,
Hmm.
which is funny because it kind of went back to what it used to be.
I
But
quietly
pre-merger, just owned by Disney.
Hmm.
So,
low-key appreciate 20th century or Searchlight. I'm thinking of more than
mm,
A24, actually. Anyway, put me in the hot take
I
wagon for that.
I like Searchlight a lot too. I feel
Yeah.
like they have some really good quality films. I put them up with Sony Pictures Classic of
Yes.
like,
Mm,
hey, if you put out a
yeah.
movie, it's probably going to be some pretty good quality.
Yeah.
Unlike most Sony movies. Uh, you know,
As somebody who
um,
doesn't really remember which studio releases which movies and all that, I'm always like, oh, if I see Sony Pictures Classic in front of the movie I'm about to watch, I'm
Mm,
like, oh, good
mm.
stuff. Maybe should happen. Or Searchlight. Yep, yep.
there you go. Well, Selznick Selznick International Pictures, a major Hollywood motion picture studio, was founded in 1935 by David O. Selznick, who had left MGM. The first film production and adaptation of Little Lord Fauntleroy
Fauntleroy?
start of Freddie Bartholomew. As an independent producer, David O. Selznick served as a one-man film industry with tremendous authority and power over the selection of stars and the decisions of directors.
Mm.
Sorry.
So, a mutiny.
Sorry, I'm really sorry for just shouting Fauntleroy. Sorry, I've lost it. I'm really tired. But I just felt like I should come in and shout and Fauntleroy at you really loudly and left.
I'm being challenged with quite long names here at 6:23 in the morning on my end, so I'm doing my best.
My apologies.
Next, the Marx Brothers. See, I got that one. Starred in the first feature film for a new studio, MGM's box office hit comedy, A Night at the Opera, after departing from Paramount. It was the sixth of 13 Marx Brothers feature films, and it was their first film without Zeppo. What
Hmm.
are they going to do without Zeppo? Many considered this as the Marx Brothers' best film, along with Duck Soup.
Mm.
I love Duck Soup. Duck Soup is definitely my favorite, but Night at the Opera is also fantastic.
Duck soup is
We need to
good.
get to those.
Fun
We talk
fact,
about Marx Brothers a lot in this show, and I still haven't gotten to them.
one of my favorite books that I read this year was the Groucho letters, which is just a bunch of letters written by Groucho Marx or letters written to Groucho Marx, and
Mm.
everybody is sassy as hell.
Yeah, that'd be funny, right?
One of them was him basically just guilting his nephew for not contacting him enough from like camp or something like
Oh,
that.
really?
I was
Wow.
just like, damn, laying on the guilt. Except it was really funny.
It's like reading
So there you
old
go.
tweets. That's what.
Oh my God, can you imagine Groucho Marx with Twitter?
Twitter on, yeah, yeah.
I
He'd
mean,
be killing it.
Would be,
what are letters but all, very long tweets.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Wow,
amazing.
look at that.
It's nothing changes,
Or
but
I
it
feel
just
like, isn't that
changes.
just emails?
Yeah, but
Uh,
who even writes emails anymore? Like, unless you're actually professionally
yeah,
working, like, in the
Oh,
office.
fair. Yes, I write a lot of
yeah.
emails for work.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, like, when was the last time you've written like a very long personal email to somebody?
To a friend, yeah,
Yeah,
never.
yeah, exactly.
It's a series of you just send memes to each other through whatever
Yes,
social media you
yes.
happen to be on.
I have something really meaningful to say to somebody. I will call them or say
Mm-hmm.
it to them in person
Yeah,
Correct.
exactly. Yeah.
See, correct. Yeah, correct.
or on a Zoom call. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Um, I also do text in full sentences. So
mm.
like
Ooh.
some people. Um, but anyway, communication, what a funny thing. In 1935, the U.S. Treasury Department upheld a Commissioner of Customs decision to prohibit the import of notorious Czechoslovakian film Ecstasy with
Uh,
Hedwig Heisler, Hedy Lamarr,
mm-hmm.
as Ava because it contained nudity in a swimming scene and was the first non-pornographic film to exhibit sexual intercourse and simulated
Huh.
female orgasm. They were just mad it was the first time they ever saw one.
Yes.
Uh,
Probably.
this marked the first time customs laws were used to prevent a film from entering the United States. Where can we find ecstasy? And
Czechoslovakia.
we'll come back and tell you all about it.
I know. We talked about it last episode, so I remember
Yeah.
that. Like, I remember learning there's a movie like that. I need to find it. Like, I need to find it.
Well, we learned about it 2 episodes ago, and now it got banned from the US.
Yes. And see, first time ever. So yay, Czechoslovakia, making waves.
Yeah,
It's
in a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I'll state it again. I think they were just mad because they had never seen a female orgasm before. But there you go.
How can you something
probably
that doesn't
thought
exist,
probably
Shane?
thought
Like, it makes
probably
sense.
thought she was possessed by the devil or something,
Yes.
but he had her exorcised after that.
What is this pleasure? How could this
Yeah.
be happening? It's the
Yeah,
devil.
women shouldn't experience pleasure.
Yep. 90 years later, throwing shade at a bunch of self-righteous assholes. There we go. Um,
Yeah.
the first trade paper Oscar advertisement appeared to promote MGM's coming of age story. Ah, Wilderness. There was an exclamation point. I had to do it.
Nice.
I've heard
So
of that.
seems
You
like it's
should.
odd. Like movie. Ah, Wilderness. Definitely a coming of age story. Um,
Yeah.
but cowboy crooner Gene Autry, in his first starring film role, was featured in Mascot's influential Western sci-fi 12-episode serial, The Phantom Empire, aka Radio Ranch. It was credited for inspiring Universal's Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers serials.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
So long
Uh,
before there was Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers, we had Radio Ranch. So there you go.
I love some of that old sci-fi stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
I don't think I've ever watched any of those serials of like old Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon, but it's probably because it didn't have Queen in it.
Probably.
If it had Queen in it, I'd probably watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, oh, savior of the universe. Doom, 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 doom. See, you're all getting serenaded today. You're all welcome. Actor William Boyd began to portray Western hero Bill Hopalong Cassidy in 66 films from the mid 30s to 1948. The first Hopalong Cassidy film was Hopalong Cassidy,
I thought a
created.
lot of police academies. Holy Moses.
So wait, 30
66.
from 35 to 48, and they made 66 movies.
Yep.
Jesus
The
fuck.
writing must have been tip top.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Insert
Amazing.
antagonist. Boyd was able to parlay his experience as the character of Hopalong into the world of television in the late 40s with the show Hopalong Cassidy. Network television's first Western series aired on NBC in June 1949 with Boyd in the lead role. My mom used to watch episodes of Hopalong Cassidy when she
Hmm.
lived at her old apartment where she had like an antenna and had like 10 channels.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I have seen episodes of Hopalong Cassidy, and I'm sure all of those antagonists were extremely well written, dynamic, and well respected portrayals of Native Americans.
Oh, you bet.
Of
You
course.
bet.
Of course.
You bet. Uh, Director Ralph Inchy's 70-minute crime drama, Murder at Monte Carlo, a lost film from Warner Brothers' first national productions and Teddington Studios in the UK, starred Errol Flynn in an early role as Dialer, a Fleet Street journalist who investigated the suspicious death in Monte Carlo of famous mathematician Dr. Heinrich Becker, played by Paul Greats. As a result of Flynn's performance, he was discovered as a possible star and recruited by Hollywood to soon appear in breakthrough roles as swashbucklers in Captain Blood. And Flynn was on the road to stardom by the end of the decade, appearing in The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Mm.
Wow, a movie about a murdered mathematician.
Sounds like a Cohen's movie.
Sounds um sounds like maybe a Ryan Johnson movie now.
They're trying
Oh
to kill
yeah.
Um
math.
um Errol Flynn's Tasmanian like me.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Hmm. Jude Law, you guys have seen The Aviator, right?
Yeah,
Jude
Yes.
Law, is it The
plays him.
Aviator
Yeah,
where Jude Law plays Errol Flynn? He goes something, he goes, I'm not a whatever, I'm a Tasmanian, and punches some dude in the jaw. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I love The Aviator. I feel like it's a movie that
Yeah, I
doesn't
need
get
to rewatch that
appreciated
too.
enough.
It doesn't, no. I was watching, sorry to take us off point, but that seems to be the night for it. But I was watching uh Paul Thomas Anderson and DiCaprio talking, and they were talking about The Aviator, and Paul Thomas Anderson saying how much he loved The Aviator and how it's underappreciated. It was just interesting hearing him talk
Film
about it and
nerd.
Leo as well. And yeah, it just made me go, oh, I need to watch that again. So it's funny that you bring it up.
To be fair, same. Like I've been thinking about that movie for like like
Mm,
recently, and I was like, it's been
mm.
like probably 20 years since I last seen it.
Yeah,
So I'm definitely due
same.
for a rewatch.
Yeah.
I just wrote
I've
about it for my
did you?
little series that I'm doing for my movie collection
See,
Oh,
you
you
on
listen.
said
Substack because The Aviator's pretty early on in my collection because the
yeah.
alphabet.
Or we actually live in a we actually live in a simulation, Shane. We actually live in a simulation. This is the proof. You know.
Shane sitting looks like the Tesseract from Interstellar. That's Shane sitting in the middle of.
That is true.
Murph!
Murph,
Murph!
no, don't leave.
If I scream Murph too loud, my cat's gonna come running because his name is Murphy. Um, Not named after Interstellar, named after RoboCop.
Nice.
Uh,
Priorities. 14-year-old Edna Mae Durbin, aka Deanna Durbin, was discovered by MGM in 1935 and signed her first contract with the studio. The next year, she made her first film appearance in the short subject film Every Sunday. I don't know who that is.
I was gonna
So
say, am I supposed to know who that is?
I guess if you were alive in 1935, you'd know who Deanna Durbin is. Uh,
Missed that one by that much.
Writer director Mikhail Naruse's wife, Be Like a Rose. Also exclamation points. I had to do it. Um, I was contemplating saying the Japanese title too. But we're gonna move on from that. An early masterpiece of Japanese cinema was the first Japanese talkie feature film to be distributed in the United States and receive a commercial release. And 100% opening the door for Akira Kurosawa, who,
Mm, hmm
honestly started making films probably within like 5-10 years of this. So
Mhm.
there you go. Porky Pig made his debut in a
I love
cartoon I Haven't Got a Hat. I know who that is.
Yep.
Baby, baby. That's all,
I
folks.
love Porky Pig. Always loved him.
Hmm.
The Looney Tunes are on the rise. 60 years before Space Jam. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah. They lived on for a long time, Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I had fun with Looney Tunes Back in Action with Brendan Fraser and Steve Martin. They should make a new
Hmm.
Mm.
Looney Tunes movie that's not Space Jam 2.
That'd be nice. They redid
Oh wait,
the
no, they
Warner
just had one that
Brothers.
came this year.
The-
Um, Blew Up the
yeah.
World. I
Yes.
actually
It's
really
pretty
like that.
good.
That was a lot of
It's pretty
fun.
good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. What am I saying? They're still making them. I've watched too many movies this year. Um,
Animaniacs. They've redone those as well. Sorry. That was
yes,
what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Animaniacs.
Such a great show.
I know people got mad because the Animaniacs got woke, apparently. So there you go.
They're
Because
Everything's
just
getting
from the
woke
21st
nowadays.
century.
Yes.
because the Animaniacs weren't about calling people out on their stuff to begin
No.
with. Whatever. MGM's and writer-director Bernard Mainwaring's comedy The Public Life of Henry IX, a lost film, was notable as the first film made by Hammer Film Productions.
Oh,
Ah.
Nice.
love me some Hammer.
Later much better known for its bloody horror films in the 50s and 60s, becoming
Mm.
Britain's most profitable film studio. Its title was reminiscent of the title of Oscar-winning film The Portrait of Henry VIII, the UK's first Best Picture winner. It starred Leonard Henry, an early radio and TV star in his film debut, as the title character, an unemployed London street musician who acquired his break into show business when he became a star cabaret entertainer at a dreary local pub known as Henry VIII. When he first accepted the job as a potman glass collector, because the pub owner had already gone through 8 potmans in the previous year, Henry decided to call himself Henry the Ninth.
Hmm.
So, the moral of the
Interesting.
story is hammer horror, baby.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if this movie had Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee in
Maybe in a cameo.
it.
Might have been.
Could be for sure. Next up, we have Top Hat, one of the great 1930s dance musicals and possibly the best, most characteristic, and most profitable Astaire and Rogers musical ever, was released. It contained wonderful magical dance and song numbers with straight on full length views of dancers without a lot of camera cuts or unusual camera angles. It was the fourth of 9 films that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers appeared in for RKO between 1933 and 1939, and it became financially troubled. RKO's greatest box office hit of the 30s. The moneymaker brought in $3 million. Its tagline was, "They're dancing cheek to cheek again."
Hmm.
Ooh, risque.
What's funny is I think the first Fred Astaire movie that I saw was The Towering Inferno.
Damn. That's a good one to start with.
That's the generation.
Yep.
Hmm.
I obviously did not watch him dance in that. That would have been a little ridiculous if he had a song and dance number in the middle of a high rise on fire. Wouldn't put
Hmm.
it past Hollywood though.
That's how he put the
So
fire out. That's how he tried. He's just flinging his ankles around.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
feet were so quick.
Yeah.
he
He
kept
he
spinning in his tuxedo, became a cyclone, and just like
just made the flames larger. That's all. He just he fanned the flames.
yep, there we go. In the Warner Brothers film G-Men, James Cagney didn't play the typical tough guy gangster as usual, but took the role of a federal lawman. He broke good. The
Ooh.
film industry's new censorship laws only allowed gangsters on the screen if they were being caught or killed by the FBI.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
The new heroic image signaled a shift in Hollywood's portrayal of the government agent, mostly due to its propagandistic intentions of FBI head J. Edgar Hoover, who ruled the agency from 1924 until his death in 1972.
Wow.
I didn't realize he's been
I
in charge
didn't.
of FBI for that fucking long.
Me either. Nearly 50 years.
Wow.
I didn't realize that either.
It was perfect that Clint made that movie then. Clint would know a thing or two about doing stuff for over 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Like
It's a
having
shame
I
it
kids.
need to
wasn't as
watch that.
good.
No, that movie's really boring. Like,
Yeah, like
Mm.
honestly.
that was like, that was the first where like, because he's made some bangers after banger after banger. And then J. Edgar, and I was like, oh, that's another banger coming. And I watched it, I was like, never mind. And ever since then, Clint
Mm.
was kind of like hit or miss for me as a
Yeah.
director.
You know, he could have retired a while ago, but I like Juror number two. I think there's been some like I think Cry Macho had some elements. I had high hopes for the Mule. It was a fun film, but I thought it
Hmm.
was going to be a super intense thriller. I didn't need to see Clint Eastwood banging two 28-year-olds at the same time. In it. Of course, they cut away before Clinton had to do any stunts. Um, you know, but that didn't stop full full frontal naked women. Um, and guess what? He directed the film too and starred in it, so I'm
Of
sure
course.
he didn't complain about that part. Um, he better watch himself. He
Was
doesn't
his
need any more
idea.
kids. But his pals, well, I don't know if they're pals, but people are still having babies at 80 years old in Hollywood. So
Yep,
Yeah,
sure
Al
do.
Pacino.
Clint's 95.
He would
So
probably
there
be
you
the
go.
oldest dad.
There you go. One of the first major sound productions of a Shakespeare play was A Midsummer's Night Dream, starring Dick Powell and Mickey Rooney. It also marked the film debut of Olivia de Havilland. It was the first Shakespeare adaptation to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture. Director Max Reinhardt had just produced a star-laden production of Shakespeare Under the Stars at the Hollywood Bowl in 1934 and convinced studio heads at Warner's to give the film the go-ahead. The almost 2 hour long film was a box office failure, although it had the most elaborate fantasy sequences of any Hollywood talkie, except possibly uh Busby's Berkeley's numbers before The Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
So that's interesting.
Hmm.
Midsummer's Night Dream is obviously a pretty iconic Shakespeare play for sure. What's interesting is I literally just watched Midsummer's Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy yesterday, the Woody Allen film.
Ah, that's pretty good,
Oh,
actually.
what is that? What it's called? What's it called?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
Oh,
Midsummer Sex Comedy or something. Yeah,
yeah. It's
right.
just about three couples trying to like
get it
sleep
on.
with
Yeah.
sleep with each other.
Oh,
My favorite
okay.
review of it was the only thing this movie had less of than sex was comedy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's no, it's just talking, is it?
Well, it's Woody
Um,
Allen.
there's a lot of neuroticism, and there is a moment where Mia Farrow's like, I've she after admitting she slept with so many men, she's like, the only one that ever made me want to actually feel like I could connect with was you, of course, Woody Allen,
Yeah.
Of course.
written by Woody Allen.
Yeah.
So, you know, stroking his ego a little bit,
Mm.
just a little bit. Price
It's a thing to them.
Waterhouse has managed the Academy Awards balloting process since 1935, all but the first 6 years of the Oscars, which is now Price Waterhouse Coopers. But
Mm.
somebody screwed up a little.
Yep.
somebody screwed up a little bit. And then, everybody blamed Warren Beatty and
Mm,
They
yeah.
what why am I
Shooting the
blanking?
messenger.
Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway. They didn't mix up the cards.
Yes.
So,
Mm.
but yes, they
Soon it's
do
gonna be
need
10 years.
auditors. Huh?
Soon it's gonna be 10 years.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
It is. I still remember watching it live. I still
Oh, I
remember.
Same.
Well, yeah, but for you guys, like well, for you, Shane, that's normal. But for me, it was like 5 a.m. So they announced La La Land as the big winner. I was like, okay, as expected. I was ready to switch it off, and suddenly I see the dude wearing a headset on the stage, and I'm like, what? I'm pretty sure we shouldn't see this. Is something happening? And there was another
Yeah,
dude
yeah.
like quickly. I was like, oh shit, something is happening. And then he started to examine the envelopes. I was like, oh shit, what is happening? Ah,
No, all within the
Crazy.
last 10 years, we got that,
the
the
slap.
slap,
Yep.
Mm,
and the complete fiasco that was the end of that one Oscars where, they decided to not put Best Picture on at the end and anticipated Chadwick Boseman winning Best Actor, but
Yep.
yes.
instead went to an
Yeah.
80-something-year-old man asleep in
Yeah.
Wales
Yep.
because he's an old man and they
hmm
wouldn't set up a separate satellite thing for him. They're like,
Well,
no, you
he
have to go to
himself,
London.
but he himself, Anthony Hopkins himself said, I also thought it's gonna go to Chadwick. I didn't even bother staying up.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, duh.
Well, why would this man stay up? He was more likely
Yes.
to be waking up at 80 something years old than staying up that late.
But
I'm
then
gonna give
I
another
think he
unpopular
still
opinion.
deserved it. I think I still deserve it. I
Yes.
haven't
That
seen
was an amazing performance in The
yes.
Father. So
Yes.
people need
Oh,
to
yeah.
respect, Sir Anthony Hopkins. And he gave a very nice speech on Twitter the next day because
Yeah.
I was gonna
that man has the best social media. That
oh
little old
yeah.
autistic grandpa.
Yes. Like I was gonna mention, like I think it was on his Instagram or Twitter. Yeah, like he then uploaded like a beautiful video of himself,
Yeah.
like talking about Chadwick Boseman, and I was like, that's a fucking class act. That like he is great, and yeah, like
Just
his
just
videos. Yeah.
just a question. Who were the
hmm
other three actors in that category that year?
Damn,
I
cannot
don't
That's a
remember.
know.
good
I,
question.
yeah, I know, right? No one will ever remember. It's like coming
Riz
second at
Exactly.
the
Ahmed.
Olympics.
Oh,
Well,
there's
Riz
Ahmed.
Ahmed
Riz
for
Ahmed?
Sound of Metal,
That's another one.
which he
Oh,
That's
was
a
cool.
great.
he
And
was
then
great.
I can
In
look it up.
trying
in
to
many
remember.
in many other years, Riz Ahmed would have been the front runner because that was a great
Oh
performance.
yes, was that the no, Judas and the Black Messiah was the next year, which had no leading actors in it, right?
Liz,
Because they ran Lakeith Stanfield as supporting.
No, no, no. Was it the
yes.
same?
Was it
Because
the
he
same year?
won. Yeah, he
Daniel
won.
Kaluuya won supporting,
Yeah,
and
Daniel
but they were
Kaluuya
both
won,
nominated.
Ah,
Yeah.
and
yes,
then he
because
made the
nobody in that
speech.
movie's a lead, apparently.
Yeah, and then he made the speech. It was he was obviously a bit
About
high,
his
so he
parents having
yeah.
sex.
My mom and dad they had sex, and now I'm here, and like they cut to his mom in London, and they were like, "What did he say? What?"
So
I
No,
was
that
like
was
that.
great.
Like, and I
the
think he
other,
admitted like he might have had like a puff or two of a weed, and like so like
yeah,
he was in
He
a bit
was
of a
having a party.
yeah.
Who were they, Adam?
he always looks high. Daniel Kaluuya though, he always
Mm,
has red eyes. So it was Gary Oldman for Mank
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and Stephen Yen for Minari.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I
forgot he
still
was
haven't
even
seen
Oscar
that.
nominated, but
Mm,
that's well
there you
deserved
go.
because Minari was quite good.
I
I
bet
need to watch that.
Riz Ahmed could have easily won that too because he was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Yes.
fantastic in Sound of Metal. But
yeah.
Yeah.
no, the father ruined me. It wrecked me
Oh
watching
yeah,
Father
me
that
is a
too.
movie. So,
Yeah,
brutal fucking movie, but
yeah,
it's so good.
yeah.
but
Anyway.
yeah, so clown shows at the Oscars brought to you by Waterhouse Cooper.
Yes.
Um, one of the
Another
most
digression.
one of the most famous headlines ever to appear in a print publication was Dix, Nix, Hicks, Hicks. I really wanted to make sure I read that slowly. Didn't mess that up. In
So-
Variety's July 17th, 1935 edition of Hollywood Entertainment Paper, The so-called slanguage headliner was referring to the fact that the Midwestern dwelling folks sticks rejected nixed movies Hicks about rural life Hicks and preferred more sophisticated films.
Man, I just want to hear you say that over and over. It's great.
Sticks Nicks Hicks picks. Sticks Nicks Hicks picks.
There you go.
Okay.
Nailed
I'm
it.
starting to lose it. I wasn't going to do it. Director Lenny Riefenstahl's controversial, historically important documentary, The Triumph of the Will, was an effective propagandistic effort documenting the 1935 Nazi Party Congress and rally in Nuremberg. Well,
I wonder
sounds
who
like
was
the
part of that
Nazis got
rally.
what they had coming in Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Mm.
Showed them. There was a really interesting documentary called Riefenstahl that came out this year. If
Okay.
anybody is interested.
It's a new Russell Crowe movie called Nuremberg that I want to
I
watch.
took my mom to go see that, and Russell Crowe killed it.
Yeah, sweet.
That I feel like just kind of given that Russell Crowe is going to kill it because Russell Crowe is one of the best actors of his generation.
I mean, have you seen The Pope's
Maybe.
Exorcist? Yes. Like Russell
Um,
Crowe.
I'm going to say right now he gave an A movie performance in a D movie,
Yes.
and that movie did not deserve the performance he gave in The Pope's Exorcist.
Yeah.
I would literally watch more. I would watch sequels to the Pope Exorcist
Same.
just so I could see more of his performance as Father Amort.
Yes, in his
Like the
Italian
rest of the
accent.
movie was bland as hell, but him rolling up on that moped, with all the riz, like this man, it's Russell Crowe. Sure,
Yes.
has he given some not great performances? Sure, but like 9 times out of 10, Russell Crowe's going to show up, even if the movie doesn't.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yep.
The first Hollywood mainstream werewolf movie was Universal's Werewolf of London, starring Henry Hoole. It was followed 6 years later by the second werewolf film, The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. in the title role. Soon to have the theme song "Werewolves of London" from Warren Zevon.
Yes. I was singing that in my head as you were talking about it.
He saw a
We don't
werewolf
want
with a
more singing on
Chinese
this episode,
menu in
do
his
we?
hand.
It's
uh, I love that song. Honestly,
great, yeah.
This is a crazy diversion, but I'm a daydreamer, and I've thought long and hard about being a baseball player because I love baseball. If I
Oh.
ever became a pitcher and had to come out with like a music to me coming out to the game, it would be Werewolves of London because I'm a
Hmm.
wolf man like 90% of the time.
See,
So
Great choice.
this story took a different turn than I anticipated because like when we talking about werewolves and Shane starts a sentence with I'm a big daydreamer, so I've always thought about it. I'm like, was he like thinking about being a werewolf? Like, is that his big
I
dream?
don't have to think about it.
Ooh.
That's
Well,
one of the biggest running jokes that I have is that I'm actually a wolf man.
to be fair, I don't think I ever talked to
You're the
you
Jersey
during a
Devil.
full moon. Yeah, that's true. Mm.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with the Jersey Devil out in the Pine Barrens,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
just cryptiding it out. There you go.
Side
The
hustle is podcasting.
My side hustle to my side hustle is being a werewolf. There you go.
Yeah.
The British made Scrooge, the first all-talking feature film version of Charles Dickens' classic, starred Sir Seymour Hicks as Scrooge, opened in New York City on December 13th, 1935, and yet 60 years later would be completely overshadowed by the greatest Christmas Carol of all time, and that's the
Mm-hmm. The
Muppets.
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 Yes, thank you.
Yes.
No, no arguments here.
No.
No other Christmas Carol need apply.
No.
Um, John Ford's American film The Informer had an impressive, emotionally moving, Academy Award-winning musical score with an Irish flavor, written by famed composer Max Steiner, and encouraged the future development of musical scores and accompaniments. This is actually a really good film. This was like one of the first of John Ford's films that I watched during my series on him that like I'm like, holy crap, this is actually like a really great film.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rough go at the beginning of that John Ford series. But anyway, 1935 turned things around, and then Stagecoach happened too. So there you go. Very powerful performance though from Victor McLaughlin, which we'll talk about in a bit. MGM's Audio Scopicus was the first 3D movie nominated for an Oscar. Its category of Best Short Subject, novelty made by Pete Smith with his commentary. The semi-documentary narrated film explained depth perception and various elements of human eyesight, and then demonstrated the effect of 3D by projecting objects at the audience. A ladder shoved out a window, a clock, a woman blowing up a balloon, and performing thrusting leg exercises. A slide tromboner.
Okay. What the hell?
A sexy female on a swing.
This is such a typical human behavior. Like, hey, we invented 3D. Oh, let's make it sexy right now.
Crazy.
Well, isn't it a very profitable industry, 3D pornographic film?
I wouldn't know, but apparently so.
The skeleton sliding forward, a fire eater stabbing forward with his flaming torch, a bottle of seltzer squirted at a sauced man.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Yeah.
No. A pitched baseball and a harrowing car ride along Riverside Drive in New York City to cross the George Washington Bridge, ending with a man firing his shotgun. It was MGM's first film to be shot in 3D.
Well,
You're
just for
right.
for the cinema, I guess for the culture, you need to have something horny there. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And
That's
like a
any
sexy
new
female on a
technology.
swing. This was the precursor to um girls jumping on trampolines, like for the man show.
Yep.
Hosted by Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel. Which I
Yeah,
totally
man.
watched all the time as an 8-year-old. Um, because my stepbrothers were bad influences on me. Um, Dudley Nichols, the screenwriter for director John Ford's The Informer, became the first winner to refuse his Best Adapted Screenplay Oscar award on political grounds during a union boycott that was being held during the awards ceremony held in 1936. There you go.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
and finally, yes, finally, in Shirley Temple's first costume picture, The Little Colonel, it was featured. Uh, it featured her first tap dance pairing between herself and Bill Bojangles Robinson in a famous staircase dance sequence. It was the first interracial dance pairing in Hollywood film history.
Wow.
I know that dance sequence, honestly, and I could
Mm,
picture it in my head.
okay.
And the only way we'd allow a black man and a white woman in the same picture is if there was no way in hell that they were going to have any kind of
Yes.
interaction with each other. So there you go.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
There's racism. So there you go. But anyway, so we finally got through our film history. Next up, the totally reliable, 100% accurate box office section, which I realize every episode we go through that it's completely unreliable. And where the hell did I get these numbers?
Yeah, where do
Because
you get them from?
Wikipedia.
Oh,
So
well. Okay.
yeah, it's not going to be in. I think it's the
It's like asking the
1960s.
crackhead down the corner. What was the box
it's
office for 1935?
it's accessible, Adam.
Yeah.
So is the
So
crackhead.
oh, there you go.
This is
But
a wild episode.
yeah, apparently, don't we always say that? I feel like this one's particularly
We do.
unhinged, but we do it for the entertainment.
I
Um,
blame myself.
I feel like it's on at least two of us. I'm not going to blame Luke.
Luke's been suspiciously quiet most of this.
So, most of these films made at least $1.4 million. We have The Littlest Rebel, In Old Kentucky, Roberta, The Crusades, Steamboat Round the Bend, which was a John Ford film that made $1.5 million and did not deserve it. That movie was bad. But the top five, we have David Copperfield that made 1.621 million. Broadway Melody of 1936 made 1.655. When they just made movies which were just a bunch of dance numbers and had no plot.
Yeah.
China Seas made 1.71. And this is where this doesn't sound right. Top Hat made 1.782 million, despite the fact that our film history said it made $3 million. And number one at the box office, according to this, which is unreliable, is MGM's Mutiny on the Bounty, which made $2.25 million.
Wow.
It has the same thing, not the number, but IMDb trivia also says Mutiny on a Bounty is the highest grossing movie of this year. So I would believe it's the highest grossing movie if it made
Through the
only.
numbers, the ranking was correct.
Yes, yeah.
And that's what matters, right? Whoever won.
Mhm.
There you go.
Yes.
Next
The
up, we
time
have
overlines.
we have the Academy Awards. So we'll be getting more Mutiny on the Bounty here because Best Actor. So
Mhm.
nominees Paul Mooney for Black Fury, and then Clark Gable, Charles Lawton, and Franchot Tone all got nominated for Best Lead
Yeah.
Actor. All three
Yeah.
of them.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Mhm.
Ridiculous. At least two of them would have been supporting in today because category fraud.
Oh,
And
yeah.
them trying to which also like is Charles
Well, who
Lawton
is the
lead in
lead in
this?
that, though? There's no lead, though, is there? Like, they're all... No one's... Yeah, it's
I feel like
interesting.
Charles Lawton's not the lead in this movie.
No, neither is Clark Gable.
You know why? Because we have the curse of, he's not the protagonist, he's the antagonist. So, like, many times if it's antagonist, but it's
Yeah.
technically the lead, like, we see him as a supporting guy.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like
Well, Heath Ledger could have
Tone's
been best actor,
character
not
was probably
supporting.
like the most who we followed in the movie, but he
Yes.
wasn't as big a name as Clark Gable or Charles Lawton.
Nope.
But it didn't matter because they split the vote probably. And our winner was Victor McLaughlin,
Mhm.
Irish actor who had a long storied career as a character actor in John Ford films. And he did indeed win for The Informer, where he played a mostly drunk character who is processing the fact that like he snitches on the IRA.
Mhm.
So this is one of those many John Ford Loves Ireland movies because his parents were
Right.
from Ireland, son of
Okay.
immigrants. But no, Victor McLaughlin's usually comic relief character actor status in a lot of John Ford films, but he was really good in that lead role. So I can attest I've seen 4 of these nominees by watching 2 movies.
I'm not
So
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure if you're gonna go into this, Shane, but apparently because of this, the Mutiny on a Bounty and 3 people or 3 men nominated pretty much in the same role, even though some of them are supporting. The supporting categories have been like created like shortly after, so this doesn't happen again. So I wasn't sure if you're gonna go into this, but
I
IMDb trivia
wasn't, but
has that.
Luke came in with the interesting facts here. So that
Yeah.
makes a
That makes
lot of
sense.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Does.
see, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that they just threw them all in here because there weren't other categories for acting.
Yeah.
So there you go.
If IMDb trivia is to be trusted, the most reliable
Better than
source right after
Wikipedia.
the Crackerhead,
We got Crackhead on the corner,
Well,
Wikipedia, then IMDb. So there
it's
we
true
go.
because in the 37 for 36, supporting actor roles are introduced.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So that makes
So then
perfect
a
sense.
single movie could take 3 supporting nominations,
Mm,
like
mm.
both the first 2 Godfather films.
Yes.
So um we might actually get one where we have 2 supporting actors this year.
Yes. One battle.
One battle after another. I would not be surprised
Yeah.
if we actually really should, because Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro would both deserve it
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
wouldn't be surprised if it happened for a ladies, because I wouldn't be surprised if Tiana Taylor and
Chase?
maybe no,
Regina
Chance will be lead,
lead.
but Regina Hall.
Okay.
Yep.
I like
Oh,
look,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think she's not like that's my wish. I don't think like
Mm.
because she's only there, apparently somebody counted it only for 5 minutes in that movie. So I don't know if if she's gonna get that, but I would
Hey,
love to see
if
Tiana
Anthony
and
Hopkins can win Best Actor for like 14 minutes of screen time,
Yeah.
who
but we're
knows?
talking about a academy here, Regina Hall is not an white man. So like
He is not an old. She's not an
yeah.
old white autistic
No, she's
man.
not. No, she's not. So I don't think they hold her in such a high regard, but like she would fucking deserve it.
Yep.
Well, too
She's
bad
very
because
underrated.
Ariana Grande swooping in an
Mm.
example of category fraud as
Let's
supporting actress
let's
in
not even
Wicked for
start.
Good, where she
Let's not.
literally has the biggest focus out of 2 of them a lot of the time. But whatever. Whatever. Actress. We have Merle Oberon for The Dark Angel, Miriam Hopkins for Becky Sharp, Katharine Hepburn for Alice Adams, Claudette Colbert for Private Worlds, Elizabeth Bergner for Escape Me Never, and winner Betty Davis for
Yay.
Dangerous. Not Bette Midler, Betty Davis.
Yes.
um, bringing it back. Um,
Son of a bitch.
I have not
Yummy.
seen a single one of these performances, so honestly, have
Me
nothing
neither.
to say. I actually only recognize half of them,
Mm,
the actors to begin with.
yeah.
Like Claudette Colbert, I know, obviously know Betty Davis, and obviously know who Katharine Hepburn is. So
Mhm.
Now you need to do the accent.
Katharine Hepburn,
Yes, I love it. Every time you do it, it just brings me joy.
you got to get that mid-Atlantic accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to little sound like from South Park.
I do. It's a little
Which,
bit
to be honest,
Canadian.
that's exactly what I'm doing. So, I when Mike and
In
I covered
Canada.
South Park on the Wasteland retrospective, I did the whole entire intro of the episode in that voice. It's
Yes,
like,
I remember
welcome to
that.
the Wasteland retrospective here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network.
It's an old timey newscaster. That's what that voice is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Next up, we have directing. So we had Frank Lloyd for Mutiny on the Bounty, Henry Hathaway for The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, Michael Curtiz for Captain Blood, but the winner, John Ford, his first of like 4 Best Director Academy
Mm.
Awards for The Informer, which
Mhm.
this was a really well shot, really engrossing film. Um, John Ford deserves those Oscar wins that he has, but he has a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is my guess is he has the most for a director with 4. Um,
Yeah, it
but
must be.
Yeah. I don't think any other
it took
director's got more than
Scorsese
2.
how many goddamn years to win a Best Director
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oscar?
Yeah.
To the point where it's just like they they gambled that year with The Departed by having his 3 best friends up there. Can you imagine if they had a hand
Yeah.
to somebody else?
Yeah, I know,
It'd be
right?
like, it'd be like Harrison Ford announcing instead of, Spielberg announcing, you know, Shakespeare in Love instead of Saving
Yeah.
Private Ryan.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
gamble, and the
Hmm.
Academy loses a
And,
lot.
and sometimes, yeah, many times those gambles do not.
They
We've
should
already
not go to
talked
the
about it
casino.
with the Chadwick Boseman and Hopkins
Yep,
thing today,
yep,
There
right?
you go.
yep.
Yeah.
I sense a pattern here.
Hmm.
Mm.
Writing screenplay, we have Talbot Jennings, Jules Hirthman, and Carrie Wilson for Mutiny on the Bounty, Abdullah for The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, Weldemar Young and John L. Balderston for Ahmed, Casey Robinson for Captain Blood, but Dudley Nichols for the Informer one. So the Informer was cleaning up house
Yeah.
a decent
Mm-hmm.
bit for this. I'm a little surprised this didn't win this picture then,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that in a minute.
Well,
Writing
oh,
original story. Oh, go ahead, Adam.
no, I can talk about it when we get there. I have a theory on why.
Oh.
Don Hartman and Stephen Avery for The Gay Deception.
Yeah.
Um, Gregory Rogers for G-Men. Moss Hart for Broadway Melody. Come on. How did one of these Broadway Melodies films get nominated for screenplay?
I don't.
Come on.
They're just
But
dance movies, aren't
but winner is Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur for The Scoundrel. I have
Mm.
not seen any of these
they?
at this
Nope.
point yet. So I would like to think that G-Men is actually about the New York Football Giants. But I'm guessing it's not. So there we go. But here are our best picture nominees and winner. So we have Top Hat, Ruggles of Red Gap, Naughty Marietta. Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
A Midsummer Night's Dream, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, Les Miserables, The Informer, David Copperfield, Captain Blood, Broadway Melody of 1936, Alice Adams, and our winner, Mutiny on the Bounty, which lost
Um,
everything else to The Informer, but
Yes.
did win Best Picture.
so
So what's your theory?
my theory is that the award wasn't called Best Picture at the time. It was called Outstanding Production. And if you
Yep.
look at Mutiny on the Bounty, it is an
Mm.
outstanding production because of the sets that they're on. They actually on location. I'm pretty sure it's not Tahiti, but you know what I mean. But they've got the
Yeah.
big ships and a lot of production design values to it as well. So I think it encompasses all of that. Whereas
Mm.
now there's separate awards for production design and stuff now. So
I have
yeah.
to say though,
Anyway,
if you do watch The Informer, it's a really
no,
impressive looking film,
it's on
but
my
that
list.
makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Mm.
Mm.
There you go. But now for the most important awards, it's the Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture. So, Adam, what is your number one film of 1935?
1935 is the 39 Steps, oddly enough.
There you go.
Throwback to
Um,
earlier in the episode. Yeah.
do you have any other quick shout outs?
Yeah, definitely. Ruggles of Red Gap is close to that. Ruggles of Red Gap it's Charles Lawton again. I'm in love with that man. I think he is amazing. And yeah, equally so in Mutiny on the Bounty as well. And there was one other, but I can't see it on my list at the moment. Bride of Frankenstein. I think is actually better than Frankenstein, to be honest. So, yeah.
Frankenstein.
Looking forward to Maggie Gyllenhaal's Bride.
Same.
Soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for anything Jesse Buckley being
Mm-hmm.
batshit crazy. I'm ready.
Mm.
Yes.
I saw a
Luke.
screenshot of it today, and Christian Bale looks amazing as the
Yeah.
monster. Looks
Oh
so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Luke, what is
So
your number one film?
so with me seeing whopping 4 pictures of 1935, Bride of Frankenstein takes it.
There we go. Bride of Frankenstein is a great film, which is why it's one of my quick shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
Hmm.
along with the 39 Steps, is
Mm-hmm.
also up there. I have seen at this point 10 films from
Nice.
1935. I think three of them are John Ford films. You know, my number one is A Night at the Opera. I am a huge Marx Brothers
Oh.
fan, and I absolutely
Mm.
love this movie. So I feel like The Bride of Frankenstein got the most shout outs because it was on all of ours. So
Mm.
Mm.
I guess we could give it to The Bride of Frankenstein. So there we
By
go.
default.
39
That's fair.
Steps was close. It was on 2 out of 3 of them.
Mm.
But yes, the Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture, we're going to give it The Bride of Frankenstein, which is indeed a bold, creative science fiction film. And if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go through some of our watch list films we want to check out from this year. Luke, what films do you want to check out from 1935?
So I've made this list before we started this episode, But
Okay.
you, because of your cinematic history, have ticked off all of them, so we already mentioned them. So Night at the Opera, I still haven't seen, so that's the top
Okay.
of my list. Werewolf of London and Top Hat. So like all of them we've already mentioned, but I swear I wasn't copying what Shane was saying. This was drafted before we started this Zoom call.
We believe you, Luke. You don't have to justify for us because they are pretty big films from this year to go check out for sure. How
Yes.
about you, Adam?
Mm. So apart from the ones that we've already mentioned in this episode, which was what Luke just did as well, Captain Blood, we had that had been mentioned, but I definitely check that out. There is a movie called The Raven. I believe that's Edgar Allan Poe adaptation, and
Nevermore.
The Informer. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Nevermore.
just said Nevermore in
Oh,
a
Nevermore. Sorry.
Ravenwood.
Sorry. And then The Informer was on there as
Yep,
well. I haven't seen
Mhm.
that.
very nice. I have Captain Blood, which I want to check out. Top Hat
Mhm.
and Dangerous.
Ooh.
Mm.
Seemed mysterious. So, but I do want to check out Werewolf of London too because I know it's about me. So there we go.
Huh.
But that is all the other stuff. Time to talk about our actual film, which is Mutiny on the Bounty. And this film is from director Frank Lloyd. And this is written, well, based off of the book by Charles Nordhoff and James Norman Hall. We have uncredited contributions from Margaret Booth and John Farrow, but the screenplay is from Talbot Jennings, Jules Firthman, and Carrie Wilson. And this stars Charles Lawton, Clark Gable, Frank Hutton, and a whole bunch of other people on this boat. But this tells the tale. First mate Fletcher Christian leads a revolt against his sadistic commander, Captain Bligh, in this classic seafaring adventure based on the real life 1789 mutiny. So, question. Have either of you seen other versions of this story?
Never.
I have not, no.
I know there are many. I know that
Mhm.
many of those exist, but I've never seen any. No.
I,
I have seen the 80s The Bounty
uh, hmm With Mel Gibson.
with Melly Gibson though. With Mel Gibson, if I'm not mistaken, Liam Neeson is in this too.
Liam
Ooh.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson's though. Anthony Hopkins.
Oh damn. That's a
Yeah,
cast.
Mm,
so
yeah.
Anthony Hopkins is Bly. Mel Gibson is Fletcher Christian. Laurence Olivier and Edward Fox are both in it. Daniel Day-Lewis, Bernard Hill,
The
Liam
fuck?
Neeson,
Holy shit.
yeah, John Sessions. There's like a lot of
That
famous
is
people in
impressive
this movie.
cast. Wow.
And
These are the 1962 version is a big cast as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously you have uh Brando.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um you
Richard
have
Harris.
Brando, Trevor Howard, Richard Harris, Hugh Griffith,
Mm-hmm.
Academy Award nominated um character actor Richard Hayden, and there's a whole bunch of other familiar faces I'm checking out here in the cast. But yeah, so this seems like that kind of movie that just draws a bunch of big names to it because it's a big classic kind of thing. I watched
Mm.
this a few weeks ago because Jess and I were trying to figure out something to watch, and Jess loves a good shipwreck and mutiny
Oh.
story. She loves boats. She watches videos about shipwrecks and shit all the time. And one
Okay,
of her
that's
favorite
cool.
songs is The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Um, you know, here this is
Wow.
indeed a mutiny. But let's start with you, Luke. What were your general thoughts on the film?
So I liked it. Like on a low side of liked it. The my thing with this movie is I really wish I could see it back in 1935 because like as Adam pointed out, the production is amazing. I've looked it up quickly when he was talking. They actually went to Tahiti. They actually
What's
shot.
Tahiti?
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
bunch of it.
excellent.
Like you're right, a bunch of it was like stage. Yes, but they actually went and they employed like natives of Tahiti. So like good for Hollywood at least making the bare minimum. So that's good. So like, but yeah, my point was I wish I could see it in 1935 because, like, imagine seeing this like proper big production, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately now,
Yeah.
even despite its runtime of 2 hour 12 minutes, I think, it feels like what it wants to tackle, it's a bit too short because there's
Yeah.
so many different things happening where it's like it's either it should be hour and a half and cut some of it, or it should be like 3 4 hour epic and give us like proper like stuff with you know the actual mutiny, what happens before, and all that. But I thought it was still pretty good.
How about you, Adam?
I 100% agree with everything Luke just said. He just kind
Mm,
of verbalized what I wasn't going to be able to. But especially around like watching it back in that time would have been very impressive. I mean, again, I liked it.
mhm,
And I did do have issues with. I think it does the absolute what Luke said. What this film actually boils down to is like sailors' rights and how they were treated and how this
mhm,
event basically changed that future for them. It's really brushed over way too much.
mhm,
And it's not even really hinted at throughout the entire movie that that's what the goal of it is. It's basically a message about it's kind of all set up. It's three very clear acts in this, three very distinctive acts.
mhm.
It's setting up Bly to be an abs to show him as an arsehole. I don't think it does that well enough in certain points. It could have been it's there are obviously some bad points, some bad things that happen in it, but as much as love Charles Lawton, I don't think he could have done better with the way he portrayed
Mm.
Bly. I think in just expressing that, just basing that off your look there, Luke, just expressing how much of an asshole he actually was. He was never he never appeared to be a decent man on screen at one point, but it still wasn't assholey enough, I guess, for trying to make up some language. But um, I just on the film, I guess in general itself though, I was um I was really impressed with the editing and I think it was Marion Booth she was actually an Oscar nominated for editing in this, especially at the beginning was really dynamic and
Mhm.
especially the whole introduction. There was a lot of quick cuts that I thought were really impressive the way they captured certain moments. Um, but there was other things that were kind of brushed over as well. There's the yeah. Look, I don't want to. We'll talk about it when we get a bit more through it, I think. But what are your thoughts, Shane?
I I liked it. I thought I was pretty impressed by all the practical effects
Mhm.
and like
Mm,
the staging when they showed storms and stuff. Like obviously you could tell in the background like that was
Yeah.
like a screen,
Stage.
but like the way they incorporated
yeah.
water, shaking the ship. There was a decent amount of shots of like this is an actual ship on the ocean,
Yes.
which is pretty cool. And
Yeah.
there's three things that you don't want to put in your movies: children, animals, and water.
Yeah.
Because
Mm,
like it makes
mm,
things that much more complicated. And so I appreciate some of the authenticity that they
Mhm.
brought to this because yes, this is a grand scale production of what they're
yeah.
doing here. I thought Charles Lawton did a great job of looking real smug and just, which also, I guess I had never really seen much of him. I just
Mm.
assumed he was much taller.
Oh, okay.
Like, because when he was standing next to Clark Gable, I'm like, oh, he's not a tall guy at all.
But
Um,
I kind of thought it worked with his character though. Like
yeah,
Al,
it gave
Mm,
him a. I'm just pointing out, I didn't realize Charles
yeah.
Lawton wasn't that tall, but it
Mhm.
does give that like Napoleonic complex
Yes.
bit
Yeah.
yeah.
to it, and he just has that look,
Mhm.
like very bulldoggy kind of look, where he's just like
He
the
would have
guy
played a
just
good
doesn't look.
Churchill.
Yeah, would have been
Yeah.
interesting. He
That'd
just
be
looks
good.
like a guy that I don't want to like.
Mhm.
It's just like, and also I was perturbed by lack of mustache on Clark Gable. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't recognize him.
you look at because I didn't realize that was him on the poster when I've seen this in the past. I'm like, this man
Mm,
has no mustache. But like,
yeah.
I don't think this is the most dynamic character that Clark Gable's had to play, like
No.
to act with. I do think he does a fine job of bringing some presence because at least he has that like movie star kind of energy.
Mhm.
But like this certainly is not like Gone with the Wind and stuff like that, where like he had a
Mm.
lot more personality to work with as a character. And then you have like Tone, who just kind of like he feels like a character that's supposed to be a stand-in for the rest of us. So like I think he does a fine job. I'm a little surprised he got nominated for Best Actor. For this, especially when you have Charles
Mm.
Lawton and Clark Gable in this movie too.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like the first act of this, I think, does a really fine job of setting up all the tension and all the messed up stuff he was doing.
Mhm.
And then I feel like this film just tries to tackle too much as it keeps going along. And I'm like, am I invested in like Fletcher Christian having this whole little thing with this
Yeah.
island girl and stuff like that? I'm just like,
Yeah.
get back to the mutiny stuff. Where it's just like, I know this is the 30s and they're trying to do like, oh my God, we have to have a romance
Yeah.
um to, get women in the seats. Because that's exactly what they were probably thinking when they wrote the screenplay.
Yep.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
this movie doesn't need that. There's enough
Mm.
drama between all these men. We don't need to have this
Mm.
whole element. And like, sure, show them going to Tahiti and having the that sequence, but like it just felt like frivolous romance for the sake of throwing that
Yeah.
stuff in there. And then I don't know. It just I admire it. I appreciate it. I liked it. I don't love it.
Mhm.
There's something about it that just doesn't click. And honestly,
Yep.
I felt kind of the same way about the Bounty too.
Mhm.
The one from the 80s.
Okay.
I don't know if like they just try to do too much with this story and not
Yeah.
focus enough on what it's really about. To your point, Adam, like this is about sailors being treated so poorly and then
Mm.
spend a whole bunch of extra
Well,
time on stuff that really doesn't connect to the thesis of the movie and you just kind of get distracted from it.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of trippy at the very start how they basically, these sailors, they're just kidnapped off out of the bar. Like they don't want to go. And I didn't understand if that was
That's
true
actually
to
how stuff
history or what.
happens.
Mhm.
So how did
So
this, like, you're
uh
coming? No, man.
so
Like,
the
how did,
the term Shanghai,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that literally means people being kidnapped and thrown on boats because they needed sailors.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
crazy. They could just do that. And they
They could
just
get
did it.
away with all kinds of stuff back then. But no, that actually
Yeah,
happened. That kind of stuff was pretty common.
I
Okay.
know.
So I was gonna briefly touch on 2 points you guys made. So first of all, the Charles Lawton part. Like Adam mentioned that he was not convincing or something. Like I don't know how you worded it.
No,
And I
It was not
I
assholey
didn't
enough.
mean that, but
oh,
you,
asshole.
you
Yeah,
get,
sorry, asshole enough. Yeah,
yes, yeah.
I really liked. This is one of the few surprises this movie threw at my way because movie from 1935. You think everything's gonna be black or white. And I really liked the beginning where you can kind of see shades to this asshole. Like he's
Mm,
obviously look, what he does is wrong, but I think he's almost like the way he's portraying this captain or whatever, like how whatever his rank is. It's almost like this very strict dad where he actually cares about his crew, but the way how he goes about it, it's too fucking
yeah,
strict. Like like there's a brief exchange in the very beginning with Clark Gable where he's like kind of poking him and seeing if he's on his side or not, and he can see in his eyes the moment when Clark Gable kind of chooses his side and lets
yeah,
him know. You can see
yeah,
this point is like, okay, another cruise or another journey on this ship where everybody will be against me. But okay, that's fine. That's my responsibility to bear. And I thought that's that's why I actually appreciated this portrayal of him as like he wasn't full asshole. You can see where this asshole was coming from. So I appreciated that. And my other point with the Tahiti, to address Shane's point, I thought I don't think there was a problem with the movie. I think the problem with the movie is what we all mentioned. It's tries to do so much because the point of the Tahiti sequence, I think we needed that because that's the stark contrast between, oh yeah, we're not getting whipped all the time. This is the beautiful stuff life could be, but we
That's
need to
what
go back to
caused
this
them to
hellhole.
mutiny.
Yes,
Mm.
we need to go back to the hellhole, and and that's why they eventually rebel. So like to me, like
Mm.
I think, like we talked about it before the show about Harry Potter being a TV show. I think this should be like a
Yes, it
great
could be a
mini
mini
series.
series.
Like
Yeah.
give it like 5, 6 episodes, maybe hour and a half, where you can focus, you know, how the crew gets together. First hour and a half easily how there are people against their will. They don't want to be there. They saying goodbye to the families. B,
Mm.
the second episode would be like, like how before the mutiny, see the Tahiti sequence. Like, my biggest point was right after the mutiny, and get rid of the captain, and and we have what 20 minutes of them being
Yeah.
stranded, and then they
Yeah.
survive because they do, and it's the end. And
Yes.
suddenly next time we see him is he's commandeering yet another ship, and I'm like, hold on a minute. I was like, oh, I understand this is probably what happened, but the movie spends about 20 minutes on what could have been like, or should have been really another hour. Which again, like I
Yeah.
understand it would be a fucking long movie, but I think that's what stops me from like enjoying it even further, because like a movie tries to deal with so many things, but it
Yeah.
doesn't have enough time to do it. So like
I
for me, the
think
Tahiti sequence was actually good. It was everything
I
after that. It was just like very quick.
I think to Shane's point and to both of your points actually though that the Tahiti scene necessary for that rebellion to basically be the instigator, the
Yeah.
spark for that, but there was probably too much focus on that. I guess is probably what the long and short of it is that they were just too long there. That could have been a 15, 20 minute sequence and
Could have been an
then
email.
the mutiny. Yeah. And
But
then and,
then,
and then more court case because that's where the interesting stuff is. As much as I
mm,
hate courtroom dramas,
yeah.
um, that would have been a better fitting. Like the last 45 minutes be just the
Hmm.
courtroom based stuff. Yeah.
Hmm. But
I
then, like,
think to my point specifically,
mhm,
less romance.
yeah.
More like show Tahiti, show how they have this feeling and this lively, beautiful community. And yes, good. And then we understand that. It
Hmm.
just, shoehorned in romance, but continue, Luke.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I actually agree with you. I think you cannot show it too quickly, otherwise the actual mutiny then doesn't have such a big payoff where you see the stark contrast. So that's why I'm like, I think ultimately it's more like nowadays, if this wasn't being made or remade, which Hollywood
It
it will
will
be,
eventually.
it will, yes.
Yeah.
I really
Mm.
hope they will take the Harry Potter route and they will make it into a miniseries, give it somebody
Right.
capable,
Pitch it.
give
Pitch
it
it.
like give it a great budget, give it some like B to A-listers, like like in certain roles. And again, 5, 6 episodes. If each episode is hour and a half, fucking great. And then we can delve
Mm.
into every single character. And even the Tahiti sequence could be like oh, this is lovely, this is a paradise. And then the next episode is the mutiny and how the captain is you know not invited and being questioned that
Mm.
as the chief tells him, you might be the captain on this boat, but I'm the captain on this island. Like he
I'm the
like
captain now.
yes, I'm the captain now. So like I see the big, and this is my ultimate struggle with the movie. I see all the themes it wants to explore. I see all the great
Mm.
things it wants to do, but it's not the main things, as you say, Adam, the court, the mutiny. It's not enough time for it to actually do it impactfully, meaningfully, at least for me.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I
So
think
the
that's why
focus
it
is
never
off.
gels.
I think
Yes,
I think we're all
yes,
agreeing, but for different
yeah,
reasons. It's the
yeah.
And
focus is off.
too much of the
Did I?
runtime is dedicated to setup.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of setup. Did either of you have to Google what breadfruit was or looked like?
No.
I don't think it really
No?
bothered.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the
Why?
hell is breadfruit? Like, what is breadfruit? I just didn't know whether it was
Oh.
something that I'd call another name, but it's
Mm.
not, it's breadfruit, and I've never seen it before. Never heard of it.
But I also liked how like, oh yeah, we are going there just so we can feed something to our slaves, something cheap. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
see.
In
British
in yeah,
Empire,
in the West Indies. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
British Empire at its finest. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At its
Oh, that's
finest.
why I'd never hit British cuisine because I was thinking if they grew them back in Britain, which those trees wouldn't grow in Britain anyway because of the
Nope.
climate, but
Yep.
yeah, that makes sense. So maybe
Hmm.
breadfruit is a big cuisine in West Indies, I assume it is.
Probably.
Hmm.
But
Anyway.
yeah, I agree that this film, you know, towards the end, it feels like it wraps up too quickly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it doesn't flesh out where a lot more of the more built-in natural drama of the story is to flesh
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's a big, sprawling production, and it has some strong, apparently three lead performances. Um,
Apparently.
and this obviously is a classic tale. They keep wanting to retell it, and soon to be a new mini series on MGM Plus.
I would hope
Fair enough.
so.
There you go. Any other
You have to look
thoughts?
up who owns the book rights. You have to look up who owns the rights and then pitch that, Luke, because that's a
Oh
good
yeah.
Well, I
idea.
know.
I'm going to watch the 1962 version because that is 3 hours. And I've been watching some epics on this holiday season. I've watched The Ten Commandments, and then Cleopatra.
The Ten
So I want to watch
Commandments.
knocker films. Yeah, Ten Commandments was great. Cleopatra sucked. Um, but I do
That's
want
what
to
history
watch some more
remembers too
epics.
about those
Yeah.
films. Like one of
Oh,
these
it
was an
does.
absolute disaster. One of these people watch
Yeah.
every single year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but anyway. But yes,
Wish
that
I'd have
is
known that before. Sorry.
darn it. Um, it's like you look it up on the internet. Ten Commandments, great. Cleopatra, bad. Just like, well, I
Yeah.
know which one I'm not watching.
Yeah. And it's 4 hours. Holy Moses. Pardon the pun.
That's the wrong movie, Adam.
Yeah. No, I know, but we're talking about both.
I know.
Holy
You should have threw Ben Hur
Caesar.
in there and just had it had
Yeah,
a
we'll get to
whole
Ben-Hur.
other.
Ben-Hur's definitely
That's
on the
a
list.
epic.
Yeah.
Literally was just writing about that for my favorite movie series because I do
Well, the
love that
4,
movie.
4K
Huh?
comes out next year, so I'll be grabbing that
I'm
for sure.
getting that. I am
Yeah.
getting that. Talk about for
Yeah.
a 4 hour movie that doesn't feel like 4 hours and deserves
Actually,
Mm.
that.
technically, it's 3 hours and 32 minutes, so it's only
Oh,
3.5 hours. But I have a nice big giant box set with the
Oh, yep.
original Ben Hur and everything. I've had that's one of my oldest DVDs that I own.
no.
Is that Ben Hur box set. But
Hmm.
anyway, that is a wrap here on another thrilling, wild, unhinged episode of the Cinematic Wasteland. We tell we love movies and having fun. So, but Luke and Adam, thank you as always for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Always a
Fun
blast.
as always, man. Good to see you guys again.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And thank you all for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What is your favorite movie about a shipwreck slash mutiny or crazy things going on the sea? And why is it probably Pirates of the Caribbean? Because
I was going to say, Kiss of the Black
if
Pearl.
you're if you're roughly around our ages, that's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But make
Or
sure to
the
follow
Goonies.
or the Goonies too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry. Butting in again.
Except that's like a reverse shipwreck. It's like this
Yeah.
thing has been chilling for years, and then just like it's sailing again. So, but make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. There's so many great shows with all types of interests. If you love movies, there's plenty of that. And all three of us combined, I think, have 8 podcasts on here. We're not gonna divvy up who has which fraction of that.
I think
But
it's more than that.
huh?
I think it's more than that. You have more than, doesn't matter. We won't talk about numbers, but you have,
I have 5, Adam,
yeah, so
specifically
we've got
on this
9.
podcasting network.
Oh, no, this
Did I
one only
say
counts as one. This is, no, 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 you're right. It is 8. Because I'm counting
so?
this one for me and you. So no, that's 8.
We got a triple count it because all of us are on here.
Yeah.
Um, and on our SPDM crew Venn diagram, this one just plopped dead in the center.
Yeah.
So there you go. But anyway, if you're interested in joining the crew, either a guest on one of these shows, like Flicks and Chill with Luke, or talking about your movie collection with Curbside Collections with Adam, make sure to reach out to us on our website, or if you have your own idea for a podcast, and join the mayhem. Um, if you like our logo, check out my buddy Joe, who does a lot of great work with art. He has an Etsy store. And most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.